All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for 6/30/2018. We're looking at the QAnon Q clearance there, any breadcrumbs, drops, updates, and we have nothing new on the Q. All right, I wanted to go over to the Donald J. Trump official Twitter and just look at a few. Before going any further today, I want to address the horrific shooting that took place yesterday at the Capital Gazette newsroom in Annapolis, Maryland. This aftershock the consequence of our nation, the conscience of our nation, and filled our hearts with grief. All right, so we're going to go here 3 hours ago. The Democrats are making a strong push to abolish ICE, one of the smartest, toughest, and most spirited law enforcement groups of men and women that I have ever seen. I have watched ICE liberate towns and grasp from the MS-13 and clean out the toughest of situations. They are great. To the great and brave men and women of ICE, do not worry or lose your spirit. You are doing a fantastic job of keeping us safe by eradicating the worst criminal elements. So brave. The radical left Dems want you out. Next will be all police. Zero chance of that happening. It will never happen. All right, 3 hours ago. Just spoke to King Solomon of Saudi Arabia and explained to him that because of the turmoil and dysfunction in Iran and Venezuela, I am asking that Saudi Arabia increase oil production, maybe up to 2 million barrels, to make up the difference. Price is too high, he agreed. All right. He has agreed. All right, we'll go to this one. 2 hours ago, I will be making my choice for the Justice of the United States Supreme Court on the first Monday after the 4th of July holiday, so July 9th. All right, just a couple of words from the POTUS himself. No way to misconstrue that. He's saying exactly what he wants to say. So that's what makes this presidency different, right? Typically, you'd have the presidents come out, have to do press conferences, and then you have the media's there, and they can spin it right away. They're on top of it. They could actually guide or be told what questions to ask to upset, narratives that they want to push, questions that they want to ask. We have a president that just gets up every morning, tweets, and puts out exactly what he wants. No spin, just exactly what he wants. And then the media is forced to kind of read them and go off that. Their best spin job is inside of their studio without this guy, the Trump, POTUS around, and they just try to spin or read it. You know, and it's kind of hard when you're like, I will be making my choice for the new justice, you know, for justice after the holiday season, after the holiday weekend, or after the holiday day. I will do this on July 9th. And then, you know, the media's like, well, folks, I think he's lying about July 9th. We're going to check that out. It'll probably be more like July 10th or 11th. He's a liar. What he meant to say was this. I mean, who knows? But that's about all they got. It gets real funny. All right, so I guess we had the protesters down there in Texas. They were chanting, no wall, no fence, no fence, no wall. Some violence. So it was another anti-Trump immigration protest down here in Texas. So in Texas, it was another anti-Trump immigration protest. Then the tears begin to flow. The tears begin to flow. The rally had hallmarks of almost any protest: chants, handmade signs, impassioned speeches. But then something extraordinary happened when Laura Pirelli, director of the ACLU's Immigration Policy and Campaigns, asked the hundreds of people at the rally to close their eyes. Then she started the now familiar audio of immigration children at shelters crying for their parents. They had come as the audio had gone viral recently after it was leaked to the media. The crowd gathered at the Linear Park in Brownsville quieted down. People closed their eyes and began to listen. Many began to cry. They had come from as near as across towns as far away as New York. So just from neighboring towns as far as New York. From LA to New York, right? Immigration advocates and supporters who gathered to protest the Trump administration's zero tolerance. Now, is that Trump's administration's zero tolerance, or is that like the norm on all laws? You know, you don't speed, you get a ticket. It's not, 2-3 times you speed, then you get the ticket. 2-3 times you steal something, then you get the arrest. 2-3 times you shoplift, 2-3 times you steal somebody's car, 2-3 times you assault somebody. We have a zero tolerance on mostly everything. You don't like a law, they break it, and the people that are trying to enforce it, let's just call for their job to be over with. Seems a little funny, doesn't it? All right, so we know that this rally got a little out of control, and that's probably Trump's fault. They like to blame. Protesters briefly block bus leaving migrant detention. Protesters briefly block bus leaving migrant detention center in Texas. Chanting protesters briefly blocked a bus leaving migrant detention center in McAllen, Texas on Saturday afternoon. Protesters stood in front of the bus and yelled, "Set the children free," and "Shame on you," at Border Patrol officers. It's like instead of changing the law, you got normal people yelling at the people that enforced the law, that took the job just to enforce it, but on their own reconnaissance, on their own benefit. They're just these Border Patrol agents to just do the job based on emotion and what the people want. Change the damn law. Don't yell and scream for people to subvert it. That's not what we do here. You don't sit there and do your job in your own head. Well, then the officer gets arrested, maybe not for doing his job, and the people will be fine with that. Now he's separated from his family. Yeah, he's just a privileged white American guy. Or some of these ICE agents, if you look, they're not. There'll be many of culture, many of race. And they're going to get separated for not doing their job, and everyone's going to be fine with that. That's just one man. But, we need to really make sure nobody else gets separated. We've got separations going on all the time around this country. All right, so some more anti-Trump. You got sanctuary cities, when we need to have sanctuary cities just for Americans is what we need. They should be sanctuary cities for law-abiding citizens, not for, criminal element. They're not all criminal. Nobody's saying that. Well, at one point, anybody that... my whole thing is that, people are like, they're coming from lawless countries, blah, 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 blah. They're lawless. They're this. The government's gotten so bad, just right around them. They were kind of sleeping, and the government just got real bad. And they've been taking abuses and government pillaging their properties, their monies, and everything. And the first act that these people do coming here, no matter where they come from, lawless, bad, is they come here and their first act is to break American law. The same things that they had happening to them that they're running from, now they come here and they break our laws. That's their first act in our country. And then in the name of whatever reason, we're supposed to, overlook that. We got, people here that, for some reason have lost their homes over a period of time, because that doesn't happen overnight. They become homeless. They're hurting. They're living on the street. People point at them and just think, what a drug dealer, druggie. He did it to himself. It's his own fault. I mean, he can get up and just go rob something and use all the I was hungry. I maybe have a dog or a kid that's homeless with me, and I was just trying to feed him. That doesn't overlook the fact that the store owner will call the police. The police will come if you took it. Regardless of your story, how great it is, you're going to go down. Most likely get arrested. Your kid is separated. Even if you're homeless, unless you tell them all about it, then they'll probably send CPS to go get them. Either way, you're separated. You did some crime, and now you're going to do the time. And the only thing people are calling for in this country is to stop at the border the separation's happening, not any of the other things that make sense. Even if these people at border have broken the law, and that's what they're finding out. Well, it's only because it's a zero tolerance right now. They're actually enforcing the law. Trump didn't write it. Well, he made the zero tolerance. Well, you don't have laws set up that say, who can break them, who can't. Make your own decisions that day, officers. Use your heart. No, there's a law, and you follow that law either 100% or you're laxed on it. What we've had is several administrations being laxed on it. You guys want to quit separating children? Let's secure these borders and quit getting the pedophile and sex rings, our kids kidnapped and taken out of this country through the southern border. That's where 200,000 plus a year are probably going out of the country, drugged, separated, and then used in the worst ways sometimes, most of all time. It's just a shame that nobody's thinking about that. All right, I just wanted to do an update video here for you. Read some Trump tweets, looked at the QAnon phenomenon, no new posts, no new breadcrumbs, nothing. We're just waiting for some action. We've gotten his last word. When is somebody going to ask the POTUS directly? Why don't we get CNN's Jim Acosta, that goofy guy? Why don't he ask the president? Let's get that guy. Let's just start hitting him up with Q stuff. Let him come. He'd be the guy that would do it. Why not? Let's give that to him. Put it on his shoulders. And like anything else, he maybe can ask it in a real nasty manner 3 or 4 times to the president. Who knows, right? That was just a little thought. Okay, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new, if this is your first time stopping by and joining us, we thank you. We appreciate it. God bless. Please hit the subscribe button, toggle it, get your device, smartphone, tablets, get them synced up so when we put out a video, you get the alert. Other than that, share. Take a look in the description box. We leave the links to the QAnon pub, and many of the articles will be linked from down there. Take a look. I got the new QAnon Storm book, PDF file, close to 1,100 pages. 1,100 pages of all the collective Q drops, breadcrumbs, a lot of the bakers and just a lot of their knowledge put in there with pictures, picture graphs, everything, folks. A lot of the proofing, just a lot of the story, the whole story, from beginning to end. Or beginning to where we're at, because it's not end, it's a collective, ongoing thing. New posts come out, that PDF book would have to be updated, because otherwise you don't have every post at this point, right? So every time there's a new post, it gets added. They got it set up that way. At the very end of the last post, That would probably be a point where you can get a refresh copy and keep that one, and you'd be up to par, or as close as you could be, without having, So that's just a smart look down below. That's their comment. Look at the comments. Some of the people been following for the several months we've been doing this, and we got some real good the people that watch, the people that are involved, the subscribers, the patriots, the true patriots. You guys, without you, we'd be talking to nothing. So it is all on your shoulders. This is your part in the whole QAnon movement, spreading the word, helping get it out there to all of your social medias, to your friends, your loved ones, those closest to you and around you. It's been huge. It's been big. It's a collective movement, and together we all have our jobs. We all have our place, and have settled into what we do. So we appreciate it. Again, God bless, Godspeed, and have a great Saturday morning into your afternoon. Look forward to some more videos dropping here from today. I got the studio up. It's early, and I'll keep it running. Anything happens, any breaking news, I'll be back. Any Q drops, I'll be back and give them to you. We'll break them down together. We'll read them, and we'll analyze them a little bit. Okay, again, I'm Mike, Patriot Hour. God bless. Good afternoon, good morning into the afternoon, and we'll see you back here real soon.